The stat of the day has turned into the stat of the week. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has lost 3 domestic semi-finals while in charge of Manchester United, as many as Sir Alex Ferguson lost in 26 years at the helm of the legendary club. Aage Fjortoft still with us here. Jan, some would say this means Ole can't win the big one. What do you make of the stat?
Well, it says that it comes to 4 finals, semi-finals, and lost them all, of course. That is not a good skill to have. If you're Manchester United, you should always be in finals. You always fight for the big ones. And it just shows you where Manchester United are at the moment. We saw when you play Manchester City on Wednesday, you saw that they were a better team when they are at their best. Still, Ole feels that they're come a further way than they were 1 year ago when they were losing the more or less same semi-final. So they will say there is a progress. Is it a progress that the fans will kind of like, or is it going fast enough? I don't think so, but they're still up there and they're a title contender this year.
I mean, it's fine, I guess, Stevie, to point to the Manchester City match and say, well, they weren't better than City, so it's not on Ole. But you look at some of the other results. The FA Cup semi-final, that's against Chelsea. They got Europa League against Sevilla. They're probably a better team than Sevilla. In the Champions League group, they were favored to at least go through. There are some games where he's not getting the job done as a manager if you think that having the better team means you should win.
Well, I have to disagree with you because, you know, yes, when you have the better team, then you should win. It doesn't always happen, but it should happen more often. You know, you're throwing out teams that they got knocked out in semi-finals. Chelsea, no mugs. City, no mugs. You threw in Sevilla in Europa. They won it, 3 times in a row? So I think it's a little harsh to be pointing the finger at Ole and basically saying, because that's what we're getting at, he can't win a big game. Right, I don't think that's fair.
You don't think that this team with another manager would be getting to these finals, is basically what you're saying?
Yes, correct. I think they're getting to where the team deserves to be for the quality they're shown on the field. No further.
Yeah. Jan, you agree with that?
Well, I think we just have to be realistic. If they won't lose against Burnley, they go to Anfield as the Premier League leader. I mean, we can say whatever, penalties, we can say about VAR or whatever. We can say they missed out on a Sancho or any other players. But then in a week's time, they will go to Anfield as league leaders. And I mean, that is the fact, and we can't argue fact.
Yeah. All right, Jan, it's interesting. One of the things that we talked about on yesterday's show was a quote after the game against Manchester City from Paul Pogba. We discussed it a little bit. I actually thought it was him kind of taking a shot at Ole, maybe.
No.
Stevie, you disagreed with me. I'll read you the quote, Jan. We'll get your thoughts here. It is very annoying to lose because there's a trophy behind all of this. We have to do better. It is details and it's set pieces we lost. We have to learn because it is not the first time. There are big games coming up. Next time, we will do better. Last year, they were obviously more dominant. They dominated us in the first leg of the League Cup semi-final. That wasn't the case this time, so obviously we are improving, but we have to go to the next step now, all of us. Jan, the reason I thought that it was about Ole is because he's pointing to the basics, set pieces there. Isn't that down to the manager?
Yes, well, it's down to players and it's down to the manager and the people setting up that. But, I mean, that analysis Paul Pogba had there was exactly the same analysis Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had after the game. So they've been spoken about that. Paul Pogba there trying to say that this is Manchester United. Manchester United should always go for the big titles and he sees an improvement. I think that was a try for Pogba to finally be a politician out there, seeing that we have to just concentrate now. Some great games coming up for us at the moment, and we just have to look at the improvement that we have there. Set pieces is terrible to concede goals, but I think 1/3 of all goals you concede on set pieces anyway. So that will happen, and that is not only down to the coach. You have defenders back there. I mean, how John Stones could be that alone on that set pieces, that not down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Jan, let me refresh your memory back to our big prediction show to end the year 2020. You said your bold prediction was that Manchester United would win the Premier League. They're now getting, I think, 6-1 odds. You still with it?
I'm still with it because I see that Ole Gunnar now getting under their skins. You see, there was no coincidence that Jurgen Klopp start talking about Manchester United penalties after him losing at Southampton. Kloppo is a strategic guy. This is a compliment to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. For the first time now, people take them serious as a contender. I know that a lot of these clubs have been walking around talking off the records and jokingly that it's good for Manchester United that Ole is there because then they will never win title. Well, be aware. We'll see what's happening in the coming months and for all the coming games.
Stevie, it was interesting. On yesterday's show, you said that Liverpool won't win the Premier League unless they do some business in the transfer window, right? Specifically at centre-back. So if we assume that doesn't happen, who's going to win it?
I think you'd have to say City are the favourites right now. Yes, Manchester United on a great run. They've got a bit of consistency. But the truth is, right now, the team in form, both going forward and defensively, for my money, is Manchester City. And because of that defensive unit, which has just been incredible. It's the best 13 goals so far they've let in, way ahead of everybody else. That's the reason I think City are favourites. And that's the reason why I think City will win it.
I know the attack has perked up in the last couple of matches, but you don't have some concerns there about what they've been unable to do attacking compared to what they were in the past?
Well, they haven't been at their best this season, no question. But with a game in hand, they're only going to be a point off the top. And with that amount of talent that they have, and you saw what they're capable of. So, they're going to, number one, they're going to break out. They've already broken out, and they're going to stay there. Too much ability.
Fair enough. Plenty more over on our ESPN FC YouTube page. Not just extra time, but all sorts of fun bonus material. Oh, look. How come I'm still not on the header, Stevie? What's up? Can you talk to somebody about that? Get me and Jan in there. There's plenty of space.
Look at the state of that.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.